was against your Sharkies,
Weren't they up and
but
dancing?
I've got to say, the Doggies, they're being courageous, and they were courageous again in their last start against the Sharkies. And their head coach, Cameron Ciraldo, doing a great job, is joining us on Sports Day. How are you, Cam?
I'm good, boys. Thanks for having me.
No, thank you for taking time out. We know how busy the coaches get, so any time we get with the coaches is much appreciated. So halfway through, just past the halfway mark of the season, Cam, if you had to give yourself a grading if you're at school, an A, an A+, a B, what would Cam Ciraldo and his coaching staff be giving you at the moment?
That's a good question. I haven't rated us or anything. We've sort of just been taking it each week as it comes and staying present on what's in front of us, not looking too far ahead, and we'll continue to do that. We've got a big game against the Warriors at home this Saturday, and we're not back at a call for 8 weeks, so it's really important that we go out and perform as well as we have been and try and improve on a few things we did last week and give our home fans something to be excited about before our bye the week after.
Can you has anyone been able to put an answer to why teams struggle away from home? Ciro, when you were playing, when we were playing, we all tried to come up with the answer to it, but why do we sometimes see two teams that are completely different, whether they're at home or whether they're away?
Yeah, not sure. I think something that's really good for us is when we're at home, we get a really, really strong parochial crowd, and that helps give us energy. But I've got to say, I think while the results for us on the road this year haven't been as good as they could have been, I think our level of effort and intensity and all the things I'm looking for has been consistent, whether we're at home or away. We've just been able to nail moments more at home. So, I feel like we've been really consistent, and that's something I'm happy with, but I'm hoping we're learning lessons along the way too.
Ciro, we caught up briefly down at Mick Fanning's golf day, and you said something that really stuck with me. And I asked you about how the team was going, and one of the things you said to me, nothing has changed. Now, what I think you meant by that was you haven't changed the way you're coaching the team. The team are either understanding it better, you've brought in new personnel that have actually understood it and been able to help sort of facilitate what you're trying to coach. What were you meaning when you're saying nothing has changed?
Oh, just in terms of the systems we were running, they're the same systems. It's the same methodology of training. Same program. But what we have done is we brought in some really good people and who want to work hard, and the way they've come together as a group has been something really, really enjoyable to be part of. And it's just been a real commitment to the system that they've brought and a commitment to each other, and that's I think that's what everyone's seeing on the field. The way they defend for each other, whether it's systematically or they're scrambling for each other, I think you can see that real level of commitment that those guys have to each other. And as I said, it's really exciting to be a part of.
Yeah, you certainly can see that. Now, Stephen Crichton, we all know what he brings, big game player, performs in those big moments. And as a leader, I think he's just really come out of his shell. But I wanted to ask you about another player that left the Warriors, Josh Curran. I was a big fan of his last year. What does he bring to a team like yours?
Oh, energy and effort and all those things. Like he's a guy. We talk about doing things just in case a lot of the time, and he's a guy that's always in the frame. Like whether they're scoring a try on the other side of the field or they kick back in field, like his jersey and his headgear is always in the picture, and he's moving just in case. And he's been a really good acquisition for us. He's come in. He's played predominantly on the bench this year, but there's just absolutely been no ego to him. He's happy to do what's best for the team, and he just has such a big contribution off the bench. And we're really glad that we got him because he's added so much to our group.
Hey, I love him as a player. Loved him at the Warriors.
No, it is a big reason why I think the Warriors are going backwards.
This is why I thought signing so many utilities, it helps you at the back end of the season when you need so many positions filled. Now, Ciro, your old club, the Penrith Panthers, my son works out there now in the footy department. I said to him one day, I said, who's the player that just researches everything, just studies the opposition, his own game, and everyone automatically thinks Nathan
Cleary,
And he said, probably Steve Crichton. I went, really? He goes, yeah, Stephen Crichton's amazing. Yeah. So you would have identified very early on what his work ethic was like, but did you also identify really early on how important he was going to be one day as a leader?
No, definitely saw the work ethic. Like every day off, he was in there studying his opposition, asking for clips on who he was playing, doing recovery, and that was from a very early age. He's only 23 now, but that was from 19, 20, just maturity beyond his years. In terms of leadership, when I was there, he was still only 21, so he's he was leading by actions and doing everything, with excellence. But I didn't see what he's doing now back then. To turn into the leader he's turned into, and what he's been able to do at our club in such a short amount of time has been something really, really special to witness and be a part of. And we're so glad we've got him.
Amazing athlete, best defensive centre in the comp without a doubt. Now, your old mate Andrew Webster against the Warriors this week. Is this week off limits? Like, are you two sort of coaches that will throw a couple of little innocent barbs at each other, or you stay away from that?
No, I don't think you realise how busy we are. So. It's hard to talk to anyone during the season, to be honest. It's even friends at Penrith, we don't get often chances to talk during the season. So we've got a lot of new friends here, which I'm enjoying spending time with, and loving the group we've got here.
Yeah, now, mate, if there's one player you picked up in the off-season that we were very excited to see how we would go was Connor Tracey. Now, obviously injured.
We love him, don't we?
Absolutely love him. But he's got an energy about him that's unique. I shook his hand a few months back, and I felt like I was shaking a granite rock. Like he just seems like such a hard, physical competitor. Is he like that every day at training?
Yeah, he is. He's just such a pro. You wouldn't believe it. Like, he walks around the mall with his poodle and fancy sunglasses on, and going to fancy coffee shops. And then he's just this hard man when he gets on the field and takes 25 carries and just pinballs off everyone else. Like, he's just he's an absolute weapon, and just such a lovely person. Just a gentleman off the field, but ultimate competitor on the field. And again, and I was really lucky to get. He's added so much to our football on the field, but even more off the field. And I thought that was one of the great parts of the win last week, that we didn't have Connor at the back there. Guys had to come and fill in, and because we know how much he brings to our team. So I think that made last week's win even more special, that we weren't missing someone who was so important to us in Connor.
Yeah, mate, another outside back I just wanted to touch on, Jacob Kiraz. Just phenomenal competitor, great athlete, can chew up the metres like no one else. Where do you see his best position in the team? I mean, he's obviously a very selfless player. He'll play where he needs to, but where do you sort of see him playing his best footy?
Well, I think he's definitely tracking on the wing. Like, I think if he keeps going the way he's going on the wing, then this time next year he's gonna put himself in the frame for Origin as well.
Agreed.
That's how much I rate him. That's how much I can see what he's putting into improving his footy. You spoke about Stephen before, about how professional he is and how much time and effort he puts into his preparation. Well, he's taken Kiraz under his wing, and Kiraz is nearly matching him there now. Like, he's in here, with Stephen all the time. They're doing video together and stretching and ice baths, and he's really taken on the professionalism that Stephen's brought to the group. So if he keeps going the way he's going, Kiraz, I think he's going to put himself in the frame for rep footy, and I don't know what position's going to be his best, but what I really like about him is he can play centre, wing, fullback, both sides of the field. He's just a footy player, and he's really taken this opportunity with both hands.
He's got crazy legs, hasn't he?
Yeah.
He doesn't know where he's running or any sort of running technique.
Love
now,
it.
I know he's born in Redcliffe. He's related to Will Skelton, the Wallaby. Gerald Skelton, I know he's 25 years of age, Ciro, but where did this guy come from? Like, how did he just pop out of the ground from a rugby league sense?
Well, he was at the club before I got here. He came from the Australian Rugby Sevens, and his first probably 12 months here, we were just trying to figure out where his best position was. He played a lot of centre. We haven't even gave him a go on the forwards because he's 105 kilos, rock hard, hits hard. But he spent the last probably 10 or 12 months on the wing. It's taken a while for him to get the changeover in codes and understand sort of the nuances of footy, but he's still learning there. But I was really stoked that he got an opportunity the last couple of weeks and came in and showed how much he's improved since he got a chance last year. And he's been working away in the shadows there and learning a lot. And again, guys like Kiraz and Crichton and Bronson Cherry are helping him a lot, and he's taken that on board. And he's a really good character, Gerard. We love having him here.
Now, before we let you go, Ciro, I'd love it that you've taken time to give us some of your time tonight. Maxi King is one of my favourites. I've known him for a long, long time, and we know how emotional he gets. Daddy, have you got that audio there of Josh Curran talking about Max King?
Yeah.
So we just want to play this about this is Josh Curran talking about Maxi King last week.
he's just so passionate about everything he speaks about. He'll just talk about going to the cafe, and it actually makes you want to go to the cafe because he speaks so passionate about just everything. You know what I mean, Scott?
I love it. I do know,
he's
mate.
so passionate, and he's always using his hand gestures and always getting you involved in that.
Yeah, that was Joshy Curran last weekend, Ciro, with James Magnuson, mad Bulldogs fan, of course, and Justin Horro. Now, Maxie King and Sam Hughes, they are forming a really handy front row partnership.
Yeah, they are. I couldn't be happier with them, and they're roomies as well. We go into camp every week, and those two are just in each other's pockets, and they're just playing. You know, our forward pack were sort of battered early in the year from media and experts looking outside in, but Max King, talk about professionals and guys who play big minutes and play well above their weight. Maxie's doing that for us every week, and again, I think he's another guy that another 12 months he's going to be pushing into that rep scene, and he's just been so reliable for us since I got here. Like last year he played so many big minutes. I think without him we wouldn't have been able to field 13 players at the back end of games. That's how much we were struggling to get the minutes, and what he was able to do physically was outstanding. And last year he was playing injured a lot. Probably a lot of people didn't realise that, but what he went through to put his body through last year just earned so much respect from everyone within our organisation. And this year he's had another really good pre-season. He got married, had a baby, and he's just had a really good time of his life, and really stepped up into a leadership role this year. And it's funny, he is passionate. He's stopping team meetings now and giving the boys tips, and he's a front rower that rates himself a little bit on giving tips, but the boys are loving it. They're just loving how passionate he is, and another just great character we've got here.
I want you to record the conversations between Sam Hughes and Max King in a room.
Oh, mate, the front rowers union.
That'd be scary.
Oh.
That would be scary.
Mate, a couple of quick ones to finish up, mate. Toby Sexton, great to see him back playing in the top grade, and he can control a game well.
He's playing happy.
He is. I keep talking about these guys' characters, but he's at the top of the tree as well. He, it wasn't easy for him there. He didn't get the nod to start the season, and he had 2 or 3 things he needed to go back and work on, but he just did it. He just did it without whinging, without kicking stones, went back to New South Wales Cup, was the best player in New South Wales Cup every week. Had to wait a while for his opportunity, considering the team was going pretty well, and once he got his opportunity, he showed all the hard work he's put in. So he was a really good example for all our young blokes around what it is to go back to New South Wales Cup, work hard on your craft, and be ready when your opportunity comes.
Yeah. Now, mate, I'm not sure whether you'll be able to repeat what you might have said, but I'm going to ask you anyway. So
you can't unearth ghosts, mate.
We don't often see the big Matt Burton torpedo anymore, because we know they're not a high percentage kick. They're hard to put on the mark, but when he does them and he nails them, they are a sight to behold. Now, against Parramatta, he put one up that was absolutely spectacular, led to a try, and then one of your players was offside. Oh. How was the chat at halftime or in the video session after that one?
Don't repeat, Cam.
I think I took it easy on him. Young Blake Wilson.
Yeah, right.
He's only learning. I think I took it easy on him. He did a lot of good stuff that day. I think he scored the match winning try.
He did too.
He made up for it.
Got the monkey off his back. Yeah,
hey,
nice
Cam
one.
Ciraldo, thank you very much. I know it's been a work in progress, but you're finally heading in the right direction, which I know you knew it always would. 5th place Bulldogs up against the Warriors, who are unpredictable. We know that. That's what's scary about them. 3 o'clock on Saturday afternoon at Accor Stadium. Doggy fans will be out there in force. Hey, Cam, thank you very much for joining us on Sports Day.
Thanks, guys. Good to talk.